Well, hello. Thanks for coming back to check out another video. So, we are here today to sit down and talk project level up. So, if this is a project pan that you are unfamiliar with, it is centered around eyeshadow palettes. It was created by Sofie Alexandra. I always make sure to have her listed down in my description box so that you can easily find her channel, find her own personal playlist for this, as well as the community playlist that she has created. So the whole idea of this project pan is that you either randomize a palette or pick a palette on your own from your collection. And so your level 1 palette, you use every eyeshadow within that palette one time and you try to hit pan on one shade. Your level 2 palette, you use every shade 2 times and try to hit pan on 2 shades. You go all the way up to level 5, and once you have completed level 5, you reset yourself back down to level 1. Now, Sofie has said that if you want to just keep going past level 5, you can, but I don't think anyone is choosing to do it that way. I think everyone, once they complete level 5, has been resetting themselves back down to level 1. So I am choosing to randomize my palette this go around. This was a project pan that I had started earlier in the year, took a little bit of a break from, and then last month we did a refresh. So super excited to get into it today with you guys. I believe that's all of like the introduction kind of piece that we have to do. But like I said, I always try to make sure that my description box is really filled out really nicely in case I have forgotten anything. And like always with all of our project pan updates, this video will be broken down into chapters so that you can skip around. Okay, so like I said, we've been randomizing a palette, and our level 1 palette that we randomized last month was from BH Cosmetics. This is the Blueberry Muffin palette. I absolutely love this palette. It is a fan favorite within this household. So I was super excited to get to pull this out. And could there have been a more perfect time of year? Because I feel like we're out of fall already where I live. Like tonight it is, let's see, it's on the TV. It's 27 degrees. So for my friends across the pond, that is -3 degrees Celsius. So yeah, fall is done and gone. This is a very cool tone, like blue palette color story, and I absolutely love it for the winter time. So I've just had so much fun creating looks with this. I did post a 3 looks 1 palette with this video, so I will have that linked in the cards and down in the description box in case you've missed it, because I'm not going to throw up pictures of like looks that I did. That's something new that I'm trying, is just doing 3 looks 1 palettes videos with these palettes that are in project level up. So I would like to open this palette up for you guys, but I'm probably just going to insert a close-up clip for you because the background of this is super holographic and super reflective, so I feel like it'll just be easier to have that close-up shot. So let's go through this. I have my little sticky note, and I will tell you how many times I have used each eyeshadow within this palette. So the first shade that you are looking at is the shade Sweet. I did manage to use that one time. Not a favorite shade, like it's pretty, but I feel like it is a little bit similar to some of the other shimmer shades that you get within this palette, and I prefer the other shimmer shades. Like they either have a little bit more like pinkness and lightness to them, or a little bit more of like a silveriness to them, and so it just wasn't a favorite shade, but I did use it the one time. Cheat Day, the next shade, the first matte blue shade within here, I did manage to use that shade once. Crumble next to it, I used that shade one time as well. Decadent, this is one of my favorite shades. It is just a great like berry kind of shade, and I absolutely love using this in the outer V. I think you can see like the dip has greatly like grown that we had in this shadow. I did manage to use Decadent 5 times. I was toying with the idea of trying to hit pan on this shadow, so I did incorporate it a lot into like various eye looks that I was doing. Okay, second row. So the shade Sugared, we used that twice. Then next to it, the shade Cravings is the shade that I did actually manage to hit pan on. So Cravings I used 7 times since we have last sat down. I absolutely love Cravings as a lid shade. I love it as an inner corner highlight shade. And I just feel like it just works so well with a bunch of different things. And what I really love about the shade Cravings is that it has a lot of pinkness to it. And so it makes it really effortless to wear, at least for me, in my opinion. So was able to hit pan on that. And like I said, Cravings was one of the shadows that had like a really good dip on it before rolling it into this project pan. So I think that's why it was so easy to hit pan on it, only with 7 uses. Okay, so up next is Treat, the matte gray shade. Did manage to use that one twice. The shadow 350 Degrees managed to use 2 times as well. And so now we will move down into the third row. Starting off with the shade So Good, I used that 3 times. The shade Tempting, I used 1 time. The shade Yummy, I used 1 time. the shade Baker's Dozen. I surprised myself and used this shade 4 times. And I say I surprised myself because this is a matte shadow with glitters in it, like purple glitters. And I just never really liked that kind of formula. I feel like the glitters just kind of fade away into nothing. Like they don't really bring anything to the table. And then particularly with this matte black shadow, it isn't like the darkest of black shades. It comes across as more of like a charcoal gray shade, which I guess is a good thing in a sense if you're intimidated by black shades. But when I'm reaching for it, like I actually want a black eyeshadow. Like I don't want a gray eyeshadow. So it was a very much underutilized shade within this palette, just the shade that I tended to avoid when I did pull out this palette. So I'm really happy that I was able to use it 4 times within this project pan. I guess I should quit saying it's a project pan. Either way, the final row we will go over. So the shade Hot and Fresh is that first shimmer shade. I did use that 1 time. The shade next to that, Delish, I did use 1 time as well. The shade Fluffy, I used twice. And the shade Stud Muffin, I used twice. So overall, I feel like I used more of this palette more than the 1 time. Like some of the shadows I used the 1 time, obviously, but a lot of them I used more than 1 time. And so I'm really happy about that. Like really excited that I did get so much good use out of this palette. I'm really happy that now my Blueberry Muffin palette does have 2 pans of eyeshadow in it. So with all of that said, drum roll, we can randomize our new palette. That will be our level 2 palette. So I'm going to go get my phone and we will do that together. Okay, so I have Tiny Decisions pulled up on my phone. I'm going to hit the little button in the center. I think that the ring light is going to wash this out a little bit, but, oh, okay. We have the Glam Light and Michaela palette, the second one. That is a large palette. I'm really glad to have gotten that for level 2. So yeah, let me go and grab this. Okay, one thing. I just like to shake it. It's a fun noise. Anyway, so this is the Glam Light Michaela palette, the second one that they did in collaboration with each other. And like I said, this is a larger palette. There are 30 shadows within here. So I'm going to open this up for you guys. Here it is. I think what I will also do is, much like last time, insert a close-up clip as well as a swatch clip just so that you can see everything. So since this is our level 2 palette, the whole idea is that we use every single eyeshadow in here 2 times and hit pan on 2 shades. Now, I have heard from some people that the Glam Light formula, especially their shimmer formula, is quite easy to hit pan on. It's more of like a softer putty texture. I think it was Danny who hit pan on a Glam Light shimmer shade in like 6 uses. So I'm not super worried about like trying to hit 2 pans in this palette. What I am a little bit worried about is that there are 30 shades and we are having to use each shade 2 times. But I really do feel creatively inspired by this palette. I love that this one is more colorful than the first palette that she did with them. I really love that it goes from very light to very dark in both shimmer and matte formula. The only shimmers that I'm not like super excited about using are on the second row, the Glitta, the 11, 20, 21, and the Gold AF shade. They just all have like a bit of brassiness to them and they're not my favorite eyeshadows to use, but I am excited to like play around with those and challenge myself to find ways that I feel really, you know, comfortable wearing them. So yeah, I'm just excited. I feel like the blue row is going to get a lot of use because like I said, we're in like the winter season and I'm just super drawn into using blue eyeshadows right now. So much like we did with the BH Cosmetics Blueberry Muffin palette, I will put out a 2 to 3 looks video with this. I don't expect to have this palette done within a month. Maybe we will. I will strive to get it done within a month, like use every shade 2 times, hit the 2 pans. But since it is on the larger side, I feel like this is going to be in here for 2 updates. So probably get 2 different looks videos with this. Either way though, I hope that you guys are excited to see me work on this palette. If you are doing this project, please let me know down below so that I can come comment and find you and just, you know, continue to support, like we'll all support each other. Sorry that this video has been a little bit all over the place. It is one of the first times that I have gotten to sit down and film. So let's all just take a collective big breath together. Thank you so much for making it until the end. I just appreciate you. And I hope you're having a good day, a good night, or a good whatever. And I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.